Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gids and I'm really excited today because I am making a video about my fragrances I'm really excited to be wearing this summer. Now, I love summer. It's my season. It's a season I look forward to the most because summer is always fun and it's good vibes. Everyone's in a good mood, you know, barbecues, going away, planning trips. Everyone seems to be happier when it's summer. Well, most people anyway. But guys, can we have a collective prayer because we have been told that the UK might just have the wettest summer on record in 100 years, and that to me is very depressing. I hope that is not the case. So let's collectively pray that this is not the case. And as you do that, I will talk about the fragrances I will be wearing if we actually do get a nice summer. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just gonna get straight into it because I don't want to ramble and there's quite a few fragrances to get through. The first one is from Guerlain. This is called Neroli Vetiver, and this is from the Aqua Allegoria line, which is a really beautiful line of fragrances that Guerlain have. This is basically about two notes, which is Neroli and Vetiver. There's also some fig, there is some cedar and some tonka in this as well. So as you can imagine, I mean, I love Neroli. This gives the fragrance a very sort of clean, fresh, sort of sweet texture. It's very sort of fresh. The vetiver really kind of grounds the fragrance and makes it more, to me, it makes it a little bit more wearable because it's not just a very simplistic Neroli fragrance. It's quite complex. The Neroli and the fig work really nicely to give you something a bit green, a bit fresh and beautiful, and something which actually lasts quite a long amount of time. This is the Eau de Parfum, so it's a bit more, a little bit more intense. There's more depth to this version of the fragrance. And I still feel like it's perfect for summer because it's still clean, it's still fresh, it's still bright, and it's just lovely. This is something I would love to wear when it gets quite warm because I think it would work really nice in the summer heat. So this is Neroli Vetiver from the beautiful Aqua Allegoria line from Guerlain. I mean, these bottles, these bee bottles are so beautiful, and this line is all about sort of appreciating and celebrating nature. They have a conservation of bees incentive, which is why they have this thing that looks like a honeycomb on the top. So it's really a beautiful line. They've got more fragrances as well, which I will definitely explore. One of my classics from the House of Acqua di Parma. You cannot not have an Acqua di Parma on the list if you're going to talk about fresh, bright, beautiful fragrances. Because for me, when I think of fresh fragrances, I think of citruses, I think of Acqua di Parma. And Acqua di Parma is a beautiful Italian perfume house. I guess you can say it's a niche house. Although the term niche now is becoming a little bit confused, I think, because everything is considered niche, but anyway. So this is a very fresh take on the, well, it's a take on the classic Colonia, which is a fresh, bright citrus fragrance with some slight greenness to it as well. This one to me has more depth. It's in the black bottle. These are the ones which are a bit longer lasting as well. So this has more petitgrain, it's got vetiver in this, it's got more woods. It's a little bit deeper and warmer, but this is so lovely in summer. It's very soapy still and very clean and very fresh and so classy. I mean, when I wear this fragrance, it really does make me feel like a boss. It just makes me feel quite elevated and quite classy. And I think when it gets warmer, I do get this fragrance out and really, really enjoy it. It's a classic in my opinion. I love the Colonia line. It's a beauty. It's absolute beauty. And yeah, good performance. It does last a bit longer than the original. So the original, I would say, probably would last on me, I don't know, about 4 or 5 hours. And then this one is more sort of 7 hours. So you get a couple more hours out of this one. Acqua di Parma Colonia Essenza. From Chanel and from the Les Eaux range, this is called Paris Venice. And this line of fragrances, they're very light, very fresh. They're designed to, I suppose, be worn more in warmer weather when you kind of want something light and fresh. And that is exactly what you get. So this opens very bright. There's like lots of nice lemon and citruses in this, a bit of orange. And then you get sort of the florals, which you get in the rose, you get ylang ylang, there's neroli in this, there's iris in this. And then you've got like some amber, some vanilla, and tonka in the base as well. So it gets a bit sweeter and more powdery in the base, because that's what Chanel is known for. They're known for kind of their powdery scents. And it's just so effortless, you know, you just sort of do that and just refresh yourself and top up. It's gorgeous. Now, I know a lot of people say these don't really last very long. I don't think they're designed to last very long, to be completely honest, but they smell fantastic. And these are, well, I got mine in 125 ml just because I knew I'm gonna use a lot of this fragrance, because it's very light. It only lasts you a couple of hours, really, 2 to 3 hours, and then you reapply. So for me, that's fine, especially in summer when I don't mind reapplying fragrances. I wanna smell fresh, but it's beautiful. I have always loved this classic line. I have Paris, which I wear a lot, and I would love to at some point get Edinburgh, which is another beautiful, it's like a slightly green, kind of fresh fragrance. It's really lovely. The next one I'm going to talk about is from Miller Harris. This is called Dance. Dance is a very unique fragrance. It's verbena in this. There is some mint. There is other green notes, like there's angelica seed, there's fennel. It's a bit mossy, it's a bit green, but it's super fresh and unique at the same time. You know, I really do like my fresh fragrances when it gets to summer, because I find they just sort of energize me, and that's what I really like. And I mean, this is so unique. If I was to create a list of my most unique fragrances, this would definitely be in there. Maybe I'll do that at some point. But I just love how it's still really fresh and bright, but then it's minty and it's a bit green, it's a bit earthy, it's a bit mossy. It's not too much of one thing, but it still retains a beautiful wearability. Really lovely fragrance, and it's one which I really mainly wear in the summer period, because I just think it's lovely to wear when it gets warm and you want something fresh and uplifting. So that is Dance Amongst the Lace by Miller Harris. Beautiful. Next one is Basil and Neroli from Jo Malone. I have 2 Jo Malones, and I just find Jo Malone really effortless for warmer weather, because their fragrances are very light, very fresh, very easy to wear. They're non-offensive, but they're beautifully crafted, very classy, very refined in my opinion. And Basil Neroli is just perfect. It's, you know, again, it's neroli, it's got basil, so it gives it a bit of greenness to the fragrance. There's white musk in this, and there's some orange notes in the top as well. So it's very sweet, very fresh, very green, very effortless. It's an effortless fragrance, and I love wearing it. I love wearing this. I used to layer this with Jazz Club from Maison Margiela, which was a really weird combination, but weirdly enough, it worked. And yeah, I don't know how I discovered that layering combination. I think I spritzed this and then I spritz Margiela over it without thinking about it. But anyway, this is really gorgeous, very lovely, very perfect for summer as well. The second Jo Malone is Poppy and Barley, which I went into Jo Malone one day and I was trying out all their fragrances, and I smelt this one, and the associate had loads of cards out for me. And I remember saying to her, this one just smells like holidays. It smells very slightly tropical. So it's got this poppy seed accord. It's got like this wheat in the fragrance as well. It's quite fresh. There's fig in this as well, ironically. There's fig. I think there's neroli in this as well. So it's, to me, it smells like being on holiday and just really having a wonderful time. It's uplifting. It makes you happy. It's very classy, it's very fresh and invigorating, and just really easy to wear. So Poppy and Barley from Jo Malone. Adore this fragrance, really beautiful. Another one which I will be wearing a lot of this summer is this one here. I've spoken about this before. This is Pomelo, Jo loves, and this is a very fresh, again, there's a lot of freshness in this list. Summer, I tend to gravitate more towards the fresher types of fragrances. This is grapefruit, vetiver. There's a note of suede in the fragrance. And I believe there's a little bit of like black pepper in this, or some pink pepper, which gives it a slight spice to the fragrance, or a little bit of a kick. It does open a bit sharp, a little bit sour, which I don't mind. It's not harsh, but it is quite sharp in the opening, which I like because for me, it gives me a big burst of energy almost. And then it settles into that woody, very fresh, beautiful, slightly sweet fragrance, which is again effortless. And I just love the way that this fragrance mists. It just mists so nicely. It's such a pleasure to wear. It mists so nicely. It's very fresh. It's just lovely. It's just a fresh, bright burst of energy. It's beautiful. I don't know how I could not wear this in the summertime. Anyway, that's Pomelo from Jo Loves. Okay, the next fragrance is from Nishane. This is Oolong Cha, and this is a tea scent. So oolong tea is a type of tea. This also has nutmeg in this. It's got some fig and some musk. Lovely fragrance. The top has these nice orange notes as well. There's bergamot in the top. And it just dries down to something quite fresh and really light, but has a bit of presence, slightly creamy because of the fig, and it's just perfect. There's not too much of anything in the fragrance. It's just the right amount of tea, the right amount of fig. Everything comes together really nicely in Oolong Cha, which makes it nice to wear. And it also lasts a good amount of time as well. So I love this one and I'm excited to be wearing this summer. The next fragrance is this one in this beautiful bottle. I think this bottle is so beautiful, one of my favorite bottles. This is Almond Jane's Tangier, which is a orange fragrance with some neroli. There's also cashmere wood in the fragrance as well, and I believe there's suede in this as well. So it opens really sort of fresh and sweet with the orange and the neroli, but then as it dries down, you get more of the woods, that sort of cashmere woods, which warms it up a little bit and makes it quite interesting and unique. I remember when I first smelled this, I couldn't quite get my head around what I was smelling, but I knew I liked it and I kept coming back to smell it. It's gorgeous. It really is a lovely neroli based fragrance. If you love neroli and orange, this is one that you may really enjoy. Tangier from Almond Jane. It's fresh, sparkling, but a little bit warm and sweet at the same time. So I would love to wear this more in the summer period and get more of a dent in the fragrance, because I haven't really been drawn to wear it as much in these sort of colder months, but definitely this is something I would reach more for when it gets a little bit warmer. The next fragrance is this one from Diptyque. This is L'Ombre dans l'eau. It's just a very beautiful and realistic, fresh fragrance. So the best way for me to describe this is there is a beautiful note of cassis, and if you think more of the stems of like black currants, almost as if you're walking through a garden where fresh black currants grow and it's just rained, and you get the beautiful scent of this fresh garden and it just invigorates you. It is a green fragrance as well, I would say. You know, there is that cassis, but it is a bit green and a bit fresh, and a lot of people struggle with the opening of the fragrance because it is almost a little bit sour. But there are some lovely florals. There's a rose in this as well. I mean, I don't know all the notes in this fragrance. I would suspect that there might be some vetiver in this as well, but it's beautiful. If you like things that are realistic smelling, that invigorate you, that have an ease and an elegance to them, this is beautiful. This really is one of my favorite realistic fruity fragrances. L'Ombre dans l'eau from Diptyque. Really good, really high quality. I always recommend Diptyque because I think they make really good fragrances for what they are. They're getting a bit expensive, but I think on the whole, they make very elegant and classy fragrances. Comet from Chanel. This is such a beautiful fragrance. I recently unboxed this and I reviewed it and I spoke about this fragrance, and I still am really enjoying it. It's so beautiful, so classy in that Chanel way from the Les Exclusives line of fragrances. We're all really excited that they released another Les Exclusifs because they don't often release. Chanel do not release a lot of fragrances, which I think is a good thing in my opinion, because you can enjoy their offerings, rediscover, and take your time with what they currently have in their collection. This is supposed to have a note of cherry blossoms, which cherry blossoms don't actually have a smell. But what I think they've done in this is they've given it a slight sort of cherry accord, which is slightly warm, slightly sweet. There's heliotrope in this, there's musk, and there's also aldehydes as well. So it's beautiful. There aren't a lot of notes listed. I think there's more notes than that, obviously. You know, you can't just say you've got 5 notes, but Chanel want to be a bit mysterious, which is fine. But it's just beautifully fresh, elegant, classy, refined, all the things that, you know, I typically say when it comes to fragrances I like. And of course it's Chanel, so it's one which I'm going to be enjoy wearing this summer. I love the way that this smells. I think Comet is very smooth. It opens in a lovely way and it dries down nicely as well. It gets a bit more powdery in the dry down, but it's still perfect for warm seasons. So Chanel Comet is definitely my recommendation for a summer fragrance. Okay, so guys, I think that's all of the fragrances that I wanted to mention. These are all of them. I think there were 11 fragrances here. Please share your thoughts on any of the fragrances that I've spoken about, because yeah, I love summer and I think these are gonna work perfectly for summer. There are a few more that I probably will be wearing, but these are the ones particularly that I'm really excited to be wearing this summer because I love these fragrances. Also guys, a few of you have suggested for me to do a Q&A video. I'd love to do that. So if you have any particular questions that you would like me to answer, please leave them down below, or alternatively, just message me, DM me on Instagram. I am Gids, and I'll be happy to answer those questions in an upcoming video. So thank you for suggesting that. I'd love to do a Q&A. You can ask me anything, nothing's off limits. And yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. So leave me your questions down below, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, guys.